At long last, finally, the Boonville Lumberjacks back in action here in Mohawk Valley as they take on the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs off the back of off days, rainouts, and a whole lot of losses. Boonville coming into the day with 16 straight L's, but Mohawk Valley not too far behind the second longest losing streak in the PGCBL at 9 games. Two teams that have not had a win in quite some time, but somebody has to take one here tonight. Unless, of course, they tie, but haven't seen one of those on either side. Only one tie in the PGCBL East so far this season. That was Amsterdam and Oneonta. First pitch on the way to Kanias Davis, taken in there for strike one. It's the pitcher Jack Donlin out of the University of Maine out there for the Diamond Dogs tonight. 5.93 ERA and 10 appearances with 25 runs allowed. 0-1, hit into right at the shortstop, picked over by Payne, throw over in time, and gets him for out number one. A little chopper right in front of home plate, right to the shortstop Ryan Payne, who slung it across the diamond and got Kanias Davis there for out number one. So with one gone, it brings up Zeb Swingham, the shortstop. Two teams that both have different outlooks on the season, especially right now. It was the Lumberjacks who were, before they started this losing streak, 8-10, squarely in a playoff spot. Now have dropped all the way to last place and are eliminated. As the first pitch to Swingham in there for strike one. On the Diamond Dogs side of things, they were also in third place, but then 9 straight losses has taken them out of a playoff spot and down into 6th. Currently sit one game out of a spot. As that next pitch in there, 0-2 the count. That's Swingham standing in there now, 200 average with a .333 on-base percentage. He's got 17 hits and 13 RBIs. So here comes the 0-2. Just gets a piece of that one, fouls it off the mask of Jaden Santiago, and the count remains 0-2. All sunny skies here in Little Falls, New York, but wasn't the case yesterday. Lots of rain, and the Boonville Lumberjacks got rained out. The only game in the league that was postponed. This here's the 0-2. Down low in the dirt. I haven't seen the field for myself, but according to the players, it was a muddy patch over near short, and the conditions were unplayable. Even stretching into today, that field is still muddy, so luckily for the Lumberjacks, it's an away game. 1-2 the count to Swingham. Here's the pitch. Takes the fastball up high. 2-2 the count now. Only 3 games left, including this one for the Lumberjacks. It's the game here tonight and then 2 games against Oneonta, one tomorrow and one on Sunday. So here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes for out number 2. First strikeout of the day for Donlin, and it brings up Masai Marshall. It's Donlin with the strikeout right there. He's got 36 of them in 27 1/3 innings pitched. That's been where he has shined so far this summer. And in steps Masai Marshall, who has struggled with the strikeout himself. Here comes the first pitch. Taken outside, 1-0 the count. Struck out in 13 of his 19 games played this season, including 4 of them in the last 2. He's ahead 1-0 right here, though. Donlin fires. Swing and a miss right there. Just misses the fastball and the count 1-1. Had 2 strikeouts last game against Oneonta. 2 the game before that against Amsterdam. Count is even on Marshall. Here's the 1-1. Taken away, fastball misses. A lot of fastballs early from Donlin. Hasn't really flashed the off speed too much, but has been generating swings and misses. Hasn't really needed to. It's Marshall holding a blue bat above his head. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Off speed right there. Change up out in front of it, and the count 2-2. It's Marshall who primarily likes to draw the walk. He's got 8 of them in 19 games played and a .388 on base percentage. Here's the 2-2. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it down the right field line, but going over and making the grab on it is the first baseman, Connor Scanlon, and the Lumberjacks go down 1-2-3. It's a ground out, strikeout, and a pop out, and that will do it. We head to the bottom of the first, still scoreless here in Little Falls. We'll be right back after this. Jalen Fullwood out to start for the Lumberjacks here in this game on his birthday. Very happy 24th birthday to Jalen Fullwood, the starter for the Lumberjacks here tonight. Coming in for his third start of the year. It's been a mixed bag for Fullwood, who's had to start against some of the harder teams in this league. He's got a 14.66 ERA and 12 2/3 innings pitched with 20 runs, 19 of them earned. 20 hits, 8 walks, and 8 strikeouts for the Tennessee Wesleyan NAIA champion. First pitch on the way. Swung on and hit high into shallow center field by Hardy. Backing up on this one is the shortstop Swingham, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Fullwood, and it brings up the right fielder, Kyle Coleman. Still looking for the first base runner in this game from either team, but just in the first inning still. So here comes Coleman, the right fielder. First pitch. In there for strike 1. The off-speed clips the outside part of the zone. It's Coleman out of Belmont University, freshman from Sandy Springs, Georgia. He's played 5 times against the Lumberjacks this season. So here comes the 0-1. Chop to the right side. Swingham's got it. Throw over to first is in time as Farber squeezes it for out number 2. Fullwood working with efficiency here, and it brings up Connor Scanlon, the first baseman. Scanlon digging in on the right side now. He's got .282 batting average with a .374 on base percentage. Leads the team in RBIs with 38, but no runners on, 2 outs for him now. First pitch, taken up high, misses 1-0 the count. Getting hits is what he likes to do. Happened as well in the collegiate season. So here's the 1-0. In there, 1-1 the count now. Had a .249 batting average in 54 games played over at Fairfield, the Division I school. Had nearly a hit per game as the 1-1. Skips off home plate, off speed missed by Fullwood, and the count 2-1. Had 6-game hitting streaks throughout the year. Also had a 7-game one as well. So here's the 2-1. Down low misses, 3-1 the count now. Hasn't found as much success against Boonville this summer, though. He's just 2 for 14, but both of those hits, extra base hits with a double and a home run. The 3-1. Taken down low, the off-speed misses, and Scanlon on, the first base runner in this game, reaches via the walk, and it brings up Brody Freaker with one on. It's Freaker out of George Washington University, as Fullwood waits for the sign from his catcher Bischoff. Couple of George Washington University players in this lineup here tonight. So here comes the first pitch. Taken down low for ball one. It's the leadoff man, Jake Hardy, transferring to George Washington University, and the designated hitter for Boonville, Masai Marshall, he's also transferring from Northwestern to George Washington. So an early reunion as the 1-0 down low in the dirt. 2-0 the count as it gets away from Bischoff, but he picks it up right down the first baseline. Get some familiarity with their teammates before the season even rolls around. But it has been a struggle for really all three of the players so far this summer. 2-0 the count to Freaker now. Next pitch. Taken away, 3-0 the count. Fullwood has struggled with the walk, 8 of them in 3 starts so far this season. So here's the 3-0. In there for strike one. Freaker also a player who likes to walk a lot. He's got 20 walks in 31 games played. Had none last game, but has had one against Boonville this season. Pick back, not in time. A close one, though, as it's Scanlon diving back in there head first. It's Freaker who's had a hit and a strikeout against Boonville in every game so far this summer. So here comes the 3-1. In there for strike two. Fullwood battles back, started 3-0, now a full count. Trying to get the last out in this inning. It's Connor Scanlon on first, who reached on the walk. Full count with 2 outs to the batter, Brody Freaker. Here comes the pitch as the runner goes. Just foul down the third base line, right to head coach, and underhands it right back to the pitcher. Count remains full. I've seen that a lot, especially with Christian Griffin. He likes to get down there and likes to pick up those foul balls that go down near him. He's picked up nearly every one cleanly, but last game against Amsterdam did fumble one of those. Here's the 3-2. Hit on the left side, Negron backhands it. Long throw to first is not in time, off the top of the glove of Farber. Scanlon moves over to third as Freaker runs over to second. And an error right there. It was a tough play by Negron, but ultimately couldn't be made. And now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. I call that a hit, or an error on the scoreboard, excuse me, so the runner Scanlon on third reached on the walk. It's Freaker on second, who reached on the error by the third baseman, Elijah Negron, and now Jake Dolan, the DH, up now. Was an impressive play before the throw. Had to battle the sun, back-picked it to spin-a-rama and tried to throw, but the throw just a little bit too high for Farber. Here comes the first pitch to Jake Dolan. Fastball in there for strike one. It's Dolan, a Seton Hall commit. Has played in 2 games against the Lumberjacks so far this season, as 3 for 6 with an RBI and 2 walks. Next pitch. Tops the zone, 1-1 the count. It's a .333 average, .406 on base percentage with 17 hits and 9 walks. So here's the 1-1. Outside off-speed misses, and the count 2-1 now. Fullwood's got to be careful here. Not really his fault that this inning is still going, but does have to navigate this cleanly. 2-1. This is down low, 3-1 the count now. A ball here would walk the bases loaded with 2 outs for Roberto Valdez, the second baseman who's on deck. First, got to deal with Dolan, though. The 3-1. Taken inside, the fastball misses, and quickly the bases are loaded. Fullwood got the first 2 outs of the inning. It was Hardy and Coleman who he got to fly out and ground out, but since then, it's been 2 walks and an error, and the bases are loaded for the Diamond Dogs. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. It's a scoreless game. The Lumberjacks went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. It's Roberto Valdez stepping in on the right side out of St. John's University. He's played in 15 games with a 152 batting average. 7 hits, one of them a double. So far this season, 0 for 7 against the Lumberjacks. Does have 1 walk and 1 hit by pitch, but hasn't gotten a hit against them. Here comes the first pitch. Off speed taken for strike 1. Valdez did report late. His first game with the Diamond Dogs was back on June 16th. As here comes the 0-1. Inside, the fastball misses as Valdez wanted a piece of that one, but didn't quite go around. So 1-1 the count. Fullwood stares him down. As here comes the 1-1. Taken in there for strike 2. It's Valdez, who really has struggled with runners in scoring position. He's got just 1 RBI since June 20th. It's been nearly a month, as here comes the 1-2. Down low, misses, 2-2 the count. As Valdez really hasn't gotten anything going RBI-wise. He's also just got a 152 batting average and 11 strikeouts in 15 games. They'll need him to come through right here. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Puts him down to end the inning as the Diamond Dogs leave the bases loaded. A clutch strikeout by the birthday boy, Jalen Fullwood, and they keep it scoreless. It's 0-0 heading into the second inning. Lumberjacks batting after the break. Still scoreless here in the top of the second inning. It's the Lumberjacks who went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning, back to bat in the top of the second. It's Carson Beatty, the extra hitter, Will Hill, the center fielder, and Ian Farber, the first baseman, out for the Lumberjacks in this inning. Still Jack Donlin out on the mound, who navigated a perfect first inning with 2 groundouts and a strikeout. And the main pitcher still dealing out there. The Lumberjacks, who just were left unscathed in a bases-loaded situation with 2 outs. It was Jalen Fullwood who navigated them out of that, now looking to answer back at the plate. First up is Carson Beatty, the extra hitter. Usually we see him playing over at first base, but getting a break from the field today with Ian Farber, the local native, playing at first. Digs in on the left side, more of a contact hitter, looking to get things going here in this second inning. The first pitch from Donlin. Fastball misses away. 1-0 the count. It's Beatty with a 184 average, 9 hits in 18 games played, 2 of them doubles. The 1-0. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and the count 1-1 now. He's reached base safely in 12 of his 17 games played so far this year. So here comes the 1-1. In there for strike 2. Fastball just clips the bottom part of the zone, and quickly Beatty down to his last strike. He's got 20 punch-outs so far on the season. One last game as the 1-2 hit weakly to the right side, picked up by the second baseman. Valdez throws over to first in time and gets him for out number 1. Another ground out for these Lumberjacks as they continue to go down, as it's Will Hill, the center fielder, stepping in now. Out of the University of Texas, committed to go play ball at Wharton County Junior College. Here comes the first pitch. Taken up high, fastball misses for ball 1. Just a half hour out of Houston, Texas, the native of Humble, going into his redshirt freshman year. So here's the 1-0. Another fastball misses up high, and it's 2-0 now. It's Hill, who's been kind of in a slump with a 206 average. No hits in his last game. Head 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Taken inside, 3-0 the count now. Hill just battling, looking to be the first base runner of the day for the Lumberjacks, as it's been 4 straight outs to start the game. Donlin deals. Taken up high for strike 1. 3-1 the count now. It's Hill, who's been ramping up his playing time as of late. Just 10 starts in the last 11 games. So here's the 3-1. Inside misses, and Will Hill draws the 5-pitch walk right there. First base runner of the day for the Lumberjacks, and it brings up Ian Farber with 1 out. Lumberjacks won't complain, as it was really an uncompetitive at-bat right there. Will Hill always seemed in control, and now gets some good speed over on first. Haven't seen him steal too much, as here's the first pitch. In there for strike 1 as Hill stays put on first. But we have seen the Lumberjacks try and create more runs as the season has gone on. Play more small ball, bunt runners around. So here comes the 0-1 from Donlin. Lefty looks back at Hill and deals. Just gets a piece of it, fouls that one back, and the count 0-2 now on Farber. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup early here in this one. Carson Beatty, Ian Farber, the only 2 lefties. Actually, Bronx Lewis as well, so 3 lefties in this Boonville lineup. 0-2. Just misses outside. The off-speed can't clip the outside zone, and the count 1-2 now. It's Farber, a native of Newport, New York, which we drove through here, coming to Mohawk Valley. Pick back at Hill, not in time, as the first baseman Scanlon just picks that up and throws it back. Farber actually doesn't commute with the Lumberjacks to these games because it's just closer for him to drive. Here comes the 1-2 as the runner goes from first. It's down low in the dirt, but Hill goes back. Would have been a good pitch to steal on, as the catcher Santiago had to turn all the way around for that one. And the count 2-2 now. Still a runner on first with 1 out. The lefty Farber against the lefty Donlin. Here's the pitch. Up high, misses. Farber has to duck out of the way of that one, and the count runs full. Trying to put more miles on that arm of Donlin, as the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, another team that has lost a lot of players coming into this game. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. And Farber goes down for out number 2. An unfortunate one right there, as that's Donlin's 2nd strikeout of the day. And it brings up Elijah Negron with 2 outs. Both of them swinging, however. It was one by Zeb Swangam in the first inning, and now one right there by Farber. Brings up Negron, who's had troubles of his own with the strikeout. Donlin stares him down, looks back at Will Hill, and deals. Hit to the left side. This one's going to get through for a single. Picking it up in left field is Freaker, as Will Hill has to hold up on second. But it's the first hit of the game. A 2-out knock by Elijah Negron, and brings up Bronx Lewis with runners on first and second. First hit of the game by either team. It's been 3 walks. We've seen 2 of them on the Mohawk Valley side, and Will Hill, the recipient of the first one, out on second base for Boonville. So here comes the lefty Bronx Lewis. First pitch. Taken up high, the fastball misses. Just a 128 batting average in 18 games played for Bronx Lewis. 6 hits, 2 of them doubles in 47 at-bats. 1-0. Taken in there for strike 1, just clips the bottom part of the zone. It's Will Hill dancing back and forth out on second base. Caught the attention of the pitcher, Jack Donlin, but ultimately fired towards home. We saw Will Hill break for second when he was over on first, but didn't end up stealing. See what he's got. 1-1. Taken up high. The fastball misses. 2-1 the count now on Lewis. He's had just one hit in his last 5 games, but has reached safely in 6 of his last 8, mainly because of the walk. 2-1. Taken inside. Fastball almost clips Lewis as he has to duck out of the way, and the count 3-1 now. This would be an important batter. It's Noah Reed on deck, who, if Lewis can draw the walk right here, would bat with the bases loaded. Lumberjacks looking to not leave them stranded, as Mohawk Valley did in the bottom of the first. Donlin looks back at Hill. Here's the 3-1. Hit into shallow center field. This one is going to get down for a hit. Payne can't get it as Hill being sent around. He will score easily as it's the first run of the day. Bronx Lewis with a 2-out knock right there and gives the Lumberjacks a 1-0 lead. Just off the end of the bat, got into shallow center field. It was the shortstop, Ryan Payne, leaping for that one, but couldn't grab it, and the Lumberjacks with the lead. So it's Negron who moved over to second base. Bronx Lewis out on first, as here comes Noah Reed. Alabama native digs in on the right side with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Donlin deals. Taken up high. Fastball tops the zone, and it's 1-0. Donlin in the first inning had a lot of strikes, but has really struggled here in this one to put the ball in the zone. Had a walk to Will Hill, who's already come around to score and has had a lot of extended counts in this inning. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss right there by Reed. 1-1 the count. Reed is also another player who's struggled a little bit as of late, but did get on twice last game against Oneonta with a hit and a hit by pitch. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and the count 1-2 now. 2 straight singles, one by Elijah Negron and an RBI by Bronx Lewis. They're both on first and second, as it's 1-2 the count to Reed. 2 outs here, Boonville with a 1-0 lead in the top of the second inning. One-two on the way. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and Noah Reed goes down for strikeout number 3 on the day by Jack Donlin, but not before Boonville can capitalize. It's 1-0 Lumberjacks heading into the bottom of the second with a lead. We'll be right back on the Lumberjack Radio Network after this.
Dawgs will be in town to host the Glens Fall Dragons. Game time 6:35. Well, gates will open at 5:30. Got one more chance to see your Dawgs in action this season right here at Veterans Memorial Park.
Lumberjacks with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. It came off an RBI single by the right fielder Bronx Lewis, and now it's Jalen Fullwood out for his second inning of work here and trying to keep that 1-run lead for the Lumberjacks. It's the bottom of the order for Mohawk Valley. Harsh Ramayan Venkat Ryan Payne, the shortstop, and then Jaden Santiago, the catcher. The three batters due up in this bottom of the second inning. First up, it's Venkot, the third baseman. Hasn't made any plays in the field yet, as we've seen a lot of balls find Elijah Negron, the third baseman for Boonville. But it's Venkot who's mixed pitching and hitting so far this season out of Brown University. Freshman from Fort Lee, New Jersey. Last game played was the last game that Mohawk Valley played against Amsterdam. Had 2 hits and 5 at-bats for 1 RBI. Also had 1 strikeout. First taste of Lumberjacks here today, though. Has played in 3 previous games against Boonville. It's 4 for 12 on the season with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 1 walk. Also was mixed in pitching on the mound against them. Fullwood stares him down. The first pitch in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Had 1 inning pitched against the Lumberjacks in game 2 of their doubleheader. As here comes the 0-1. Inside, and that one catches them on the lead shoulder. A hit by pitch right there as Venkot goes over to first base. First hit by pitch on the day by Fullwood as he talks to the umpire. Minimal contact, if any, on that one, as the catcher Seth Bischoff caught that cleanly. Didn't look like it hit him, but just off the end of the elbow guard that Venkot was wearing. So first hit by pitch of the day for either team. That's the 3rd free pass given out by Fullwood and brings up the shortstop Ryan Payne. First pitch shows bunt, but gets it way high, sends that one to the backstop, and the count 0-1. Payne, a Fairfield University freshman, had a 192 average over in the MAAC school last season, but is batting just 154 with the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs this summer. Fullwood ready for the 0-1. Here it comes. Hit hard on the right side. That one gets down for a single. Lewis picks it up in right field as Venkot held up on second. And that is a no-out single right there by Ryan Payne. Runners first and second now, and brings up the last hitter in the order, Jaden Santiago. First hit allowed by Fullwood so far in this game, and comes in a dangerous situation. We saw Payne try and lay down the bunt, but with the last hitter in the order now, Jaden Santiago up, probably will be seeing that again. The catcher, Seth Bischoff, gives signs to his infield as they pinch in. First pitch shows bunt, pulls back on it, but it's in there for strike 1. It's Elijah Negron playing almost on the infield grass, middle of the infield, pinched back, and Ian Farber trying to hold the runner Payne over on first. Still no outs with runners on first and second. Santiago already shows bunt. Here's the pitch. Laid down the third base line. Picked up by Fullwood. Throw is not in time. Davis couldn't handle it. He was covering first, and it's to the backstop. Venkot scores from second as Payne moves over to third, and it's a run scored right there by Mohawk Valley. They even the game up at 1 apiece.
Now batting for your Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, center fielder number 4 from Fairfield University, Jake Hardy.
They call that one another error, this time on the pitcher Fullwood, who airmailed that throw. It was Kanias Davis covering from second base over on first and couldn't handle it, and it's 1-1. First pitch on the leadoff man, Hardy. Down low in the dirt, gets away from Bischoff, and scoring easily from third is Ryan Payne. Off speed just got away from Fullwood right there, and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs take the lead. It's 2-1. Already not what the Lumberjacks have been looking for, as it was Santiago who has moved all the way over to third off of that wild pitch. Already another runner, as here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss right there by Hardy. There's no outs with just 1 runner on third, already 2 surrendered by Fullwood, still looking to get someone down in this inning. 1-1 the count to the leadoff man, Jake Hardy. Here's the pitch. Hit to the left side. That one gets down in the gap, Will Hill picks it up in center, but he can't find it. It's underneath the glove. Hardy hustling around second. He'll have to pull up there, but Santiago scores from third, and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs continue piling it on. It's 3-1. Boonville can't really seem to get their bearings here, as that pretty squarely a single right there by Hardy. Got that one in the gap over in right center field, and really never had a chance. Santiago was going to score from third regardless of whether or not Will Hill picked that one up cleanly, and I think Hardy was going to go to second as well. First pitch on Kyle Coleman, the right fielder, is down low and misses for ball one. It's Coleman, who grounded out his first time up, would be out number 2 in what was a lengthy first inning for Mohawk Valley. Here comes the 1-0. Inside, misses, 2-0 the count. It's Hardy, who's transferring to George Washington University, one of the teammates of, will be teammates of Masai Marshall, as there's going to be a meeting at the mound here between Bischoff and Fullwood. It's been a real struggle here in this inning. Already 3 runs surrendered with no outs, and another runner on second base. A 2-0 count to Hardy as well. Well, whatever it is, they finally discuss it, and they'll get ready to get back into action. Already 2 hits in the inning, a single by Payne and a double by Hardy, who's on second. 2-0 is in there for strike one. Coleman with a .307 average, 25 RBIs. He's been able to bat in runners quite effectively so far this summer. So here comes the 2-1. Inside right there, 3-1 the count now. Fullwood's got to be careful. He still hasn't gotten the first out in this inning. Is already on the verge of walking another batter. This would be number 3 on the day in just 2 innings of work for Fullwood. 3-1. Hit hard down the left field line. Back on this one is Reed. Looks up, and it is gone. A moonshot there by Kyle Coleman. Hit over into the longest part of left field, and he continues the onslaught for the Diamond Dogs. It's a 5-run bottom of the second inning as they take a 5-1 lead. Fullwood still without an out here in this inning. And already Mohawk Valley taking a huge lead in this game. Coleman had 2 home runs in his last Boonville game and also adds on another one right here, the 3rd of the season, as it goes from bad to worse for Boonville. So 2 straight extra base hits, the home run by Coleman and the double by Hardy, and brings up Scanlon. First pitch, just fouled to the backstop. 0-1 the count on Scanlon, who walked in his first plate appearance. Another one of the Fairfield University players on this team. It's Scanlon, Hardy, Freaker, Dolan, and Ryan Payne. 0-1, down low in the dirt, misses. Still looking for his first out is Jalen Fullwood. So here's the 1-1. Soared right there, way out in front of it. Tried to pull up, and it was too late. 1-2 the count now. Scanlon, who is just 2 for 14 against the Lumberjacks this season. It's the 1-2. Hit hard again into left field. Reed comes in on this one, backs up, and it is to the wall. Bounces off the bottom as going into second base right there is Scanlon. He's in there standing with a 3rd straight extra base hit in this game. It's a double home run and another double by the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs as they continue piling it on with no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. It was Reed who came in on this one and then had to step back, and by that time the ball had already touched down in deep left field, and Fullwood just can't seem to get an out here in this inning. 6 straight batters, including the error by Fullwood. and it brings up the left fielder, Brody Freaker. Here's the first pitch. Down low, that one gets away from Bischoff. Running over to third easily is Scanlon, and there will be no throw from the backstop. Fullwood still can't seem to get anything going. It's a 1-0 count as a runner on third with no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Five to 1 Mohawk Valley already. So here comes the 1-0. Hit hard down the left field line. That one gets down again. Scoring and practically walking home right there is Connor Scanlon as the Diamond Dogs continue to blow this game open. 6-0. All 6 of them scored here in the bottom of the second inning. Still no outs with the single right there by Brody Freaker, and brings up Jake Dolan. Already 7 batters have been at the plate in this inning. None of them have been out. Next pitch by Fullwood. Hit hard down the left field line. That one is going to get down and fair. It's going to be another hit and extra bases as that one gets by Reed down in left field. Scoring easily is Brody Freaker, as hustling for third is Dolan. He slides in there head first, and he's in there with a triple. Mohawk Valley continue piling on. 7 runs here in the bottom of the second inning as it's a 7-1 lead. Mohawk Valley on top. So we've seen it all here in this inning. It's been a cycle from the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, who in a row have gone home run, double, single, and triple. As in comes Roberto Valdez, the second baseman. Mohawk Valley is 1 batter away from batting around the order without recording an out. First pitch. Down low in the dirt, Bischoff just gets a glove on that one and stops it from going behind. 1-0 the count. It's Valdez, whose only previous at-bat today was a strikeout in the bottom of the first inning. So here's the 1-0. Hit down the right field line, ranging into foul territory is Lewis, but he can't make the catch. It's too far over, and the count 1-1. It's Jake Dolan on third, who reached on the triple. Batted in Connor Scanlon, and still no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Fullwood all even here with the batter Valdez. Here comes the 1-1. Hit hard down the right field line. Lewis backs up on this one and makes the catch, but tagging in from third right there is Jake Dolan. So Jalen Fullwood finally gets out number 1, but it comes at a cost as the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs extend the lead. It is 8-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Still haven't even updated the scoreboard here, as it's Venkot, who started off this inning in the box. Watches as that one goes up high for ball 1. Started off the inning with a hit by pitch, then it was a single by Payne. Santiago, who reached on an error, double by Hardy, and then the 2-run homer by Kyle Coleman. Fullwood wants a new baseball, and he'll get one as the count 2-0 on Venkot. Some movement early in the Boonville dugout as the 2-0 is hit high and shallow into right field. Coming in on this one is Lewis, and makes the catch right down the foul line for out number 2.
And now batting for your dog, shortstop, number 27 from Fairfield University.
So brings up Ryan Payne now. 2 men up, just getting some soft toss going right now is Mason Michael out of Defiance and Matthew Helmer Jr. out of Penn State Beaver. 2 outs in the inning for the shortstop, Ryan Payne. Already had a single in this inning. As here comes the first pitch. Taken up high, 1-0 the count. It's Fullwood out on the mound, who surrendered 6 hits and 8 runs already in this inning. The birthday start not going too well for the righty. 1-0. Turns the back to it, but the slider catches the inside part of the zone, and the count 1-1. Payne thought that one was going to run in and hit him, but instead the count all even. Fullwood ready for the 1-1. Here it comes. Down low misses. 2-1 the count. Just Just a 154 average for Payne, who fouls that one to the backstop. Already with a single in this game, and continues to battle against Fullwood, who's really been left out there to figure things out on his own. Here comes the 2-2. In there for a called third strike, and Jalen Fullwood sets down 3 in a row to end the bottom of the second inning, but not before Mohawk Valley jumps all over him. It's 8-1 as we head to the third inning. We'll be right back on the Boonville Radio Network after this. Eight to 1 the score here as Boonville trailed by 7 runs here in the top of the third inning. It's going to be the catcher Seth Bischoff, then the top of the order for the Lumberjacks. Kanias Davis, the leadoff hitter, and Zeb Swingham, the shortstop after him. Still the pitcher Jack Donlin out on the mound for inning number 3 of work. He's been working through the Lumberjacks pretty effectively. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 run, along with 3 strikeouts in 2 previous innings of work. So in steps Bischoff, the catcher. First at bat for him so far today, as it's the Diamond Dogs almost on their 3rd time through the order. Here comes the first pitch. Taken inside for ball 1. It's Bischoff, who's got 1 home run this season, and it came all the way back on May 30th here in this ballpark. 1-0. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it back behind me, and that one gets out of play. 1-1 the count. It was a home run to center field that Bischoff had hit. Still his only home run. As just 1 of 2 extra base hits so far this season. 1-1. Chopped high and foul again down the left field line. Giving chase is the third baseman Vencott, but it gets out of play. 2 straight foul balls down the left side for Bischoff, and the count is 1-2 on him now. He's had a 186 average so far this season. 265 on base percentage with 8 hits and just the 2 extra base hits, the double and the home run. One, 2 on the way. Donlin stares him down and gets the sign from his catcher, Santiago. Here's the pitch. Taken for a called third strike, just hits the bottom part of the zone as Bischoff couldn't get the bat off the shoulder, and that's strikeout number 4 on the day for Donlin. Bischoff goes down with the 2nd straight K for the Lumberjacks and brings up Kanias Davis with 1 out. It's 8-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Lumberjacks have only scored once. It was off of a single by Bronx Lewis last inning. First pitch to Davis. Inside, called for strike 1. It was Davis who grounded out to start the game. It was a grounder to short. That's all we've seen from him today. 0-1. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. And the count is 1-1. Davis, Alcorn State transfer, going to Florida A&M University next season. So here's the 1-1. Check swing, that one in there for a called strike though, and the count 1-2. Last game that Davis hit in was back against Oneonta 4 days ago was 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. Staring down a 1-2 count right here. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Out in front of that one, and Donlin has struck out 3 batters in a row. That's number 5 on the day, and brings up Zeb Swangham with 2 outs. Swangham himself, who was a strikeout victim in his first plate appearance, went down swinging for out number 2 of that second inning. Donlin, the lefty, still going through this order like a buzzsaw. First pitch in there for strike 1. Swangham out of UNC Asheville, the freshman from Fletcher, North Carolina, not too far from his university. So here's the 0-1. Hit high just to second base. Scanlon moves over the first baseman and makes the catch for out number 3. Lumberjacks go down 1-2-3 for the second time here tonight and fail to respond. It's still 8-1 Mohawk Valley out on top here in this one. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, you're listening to Boonville Baseball on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. Still 8-1 Mohawk Valley out on top of the Boonville Lumberjacks. It's the bottom of the third inning after the Boonville lineup went down 1-2-3, and it's the catcher and 9th man up in the order, Jaden Santiago, out to start this inning. It's still Fullwood out on the mound, as here's the first pitch. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it back and out of play. It's Fullwood out, who surrendered 8 runs, all of them in a row, as it was 9 straight hitters for Mohawk Valley that came up and 8 runs that were scored. It's the 0-1. Check swing in there for strike 2. We saw Fullwood and head coach Christian Griffin having a conversation down the third base line in the last half inning, but it's Fullwood back out there. 0-2. Swing and a miss down low in the dirt. Gets him for out number 1. And Fullwood shrugging the shoulders with some weight, relieved. That's out number 1 and brings up the top of the order. It's Jake Hardy for the 3rd time today. Just strikeout number 3 so far for Fullwood, and brings up Hardy, who had a RBI double in his last plate appearance. First pitch. Hit hard into center field. Back on this one is Will Hill. Looks up, and it is gone. In the middle of the 2 bleachers out in center field and onto the Little League field behind Veterans Memorial Park, and a second home run of the day for Mohawk Valley. They continue to extend their lead as it's 9-1. Diamond Dogs out on top here in the bottom of the third inning. Absolute rocket right there off of the bat of Jake Hardy, his 2nd extra base hit of the day. And the Diamond Dogs continue to mash Jalen Fullwood out on the mound. Brings up Coleman now, who had a home run in his last plate appearance, as the Lumberjacks trying to play damage control. Digs in on the right side. Awaits the pitch from Fullwood. Here it comes. Down low, some dirt kicks up off of home plate as Fullwood pulled up on that slider in the count 1-0. It's Coleman, who had 2 home runs in his last game played against Boonville and already won in this game. So here's the 1-0. Inside, the fastball misses as Coleman has to duck out of the way, and 2-0 the count now. It's 4 for 18 in 5 games played as the 2-0 hit down the right field line. That one gets out of play, and the count 2-1 now. But it doesn't matter. If you're going to get hits, might as well make them long balls. It's Coleman, who's already had 10 RBIs against the Lumberjacks this season. 2-1. Up high, the fastball misses from Fullwood, and the count 3-1 now. I've seen Fullwood continually miss and get in these long extended at-bats. It's another unfortunate one right here. 3-1 with 1 out. Here comes the pitch to Coleman. Swing and a miss. Down to one knee right there is Kyle Coleman, who was out in front of the fastball. And the count runs full now. It's 9-1 here in the bottom of the third. Payoff pitch is hit high into center field. Will Hill back on this one, and it's catched by the right fielder, Bronx Lewis. Gets him down for out number 2. Another long one right there out near the NBT Bank sign out in right center. Thought that was another one that might have been given a ride by Coleman, but fortunately it stays in for out number 2 and brings up Scanlon with no men on, 2 outs in the inning. Scanlon's reached both times already tonight, as here comes the first pitch. Down low in the dirt, misses, 1-0 the count. Reached on a walk in the first inning, double in the second. So here comes the 1-0. Hit hard down the left side. That one trickles into left field and gets down for a single. Scanlon on for the 3rd time today in 3 at-bats and brings up Brody Freaker, the left fielder, with 2 outs. It's Freaker who's had a single and reached on an error by the 3rd baseman, Negron. Another guy who's reached both times he's been up today. Fullwood staring him down out there on the mound, awaiting the first pitch. Here it comes. In there for strike 1. It's Freaker out of George Washington University, a sophomore from Denville, New Jersey. Bats with a gear on his lead left leg. As the next pitch down low misses. 1-1 the count. Came into tonight with just 1 RBI in his last 3 games, but he's already picked up more in the first and the second inning here tonight. The 1-1. Swing and a miss out in front of that one as well, and Fullwood 1 strike away from ending the inning. Just 1 run given up by the Lumberjacks here. It was off the solo shot from Jake Hardy. But with a runner on first, 2 outs, Fullwood looking to end the nightmare. Here's the pitch. Misses slider away, and the count 2-2. Freaker's had a hit and a strikeout in every game played against Boonville this season, and the trend follows. Might see him get punched out right here. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Does exactly that, and that will do it for the inning. Fullwood only surrenders the solo shot, but it's still 9-1. Mohawk Valley out on top as we head to the 4th inning. You're listening to Boonville Baseball on the Lumberjack Radio Network. 9-1, Diamond Dogs out in front of the Lumberjacks here as we head to the top of the 4th inning. It's still the pitcher Jack Donlin out for inning number 4 of work on the mound for Mohawk Valley. It's been cutting through the Lumberjack order effectively, just 2 hits and 1 walk allowed in 3 previous innings of work. It's the middle of the order, Cy Marshall, Carson Beatty, and Will Hill up for the Lumberjacks. First up is Beatty digging in on the right side. He grounded out in his first plate appearance so far today. The lefty deals. Just gets a piece of it off of the knob of the bat and to the backstop. 0-1 the count. Marshall's reached base safely in 14 of his 19 games played so far this season. Reached last game on a walk and a hit by pitch. Still looking to get on today. Next delivery in there for strike 2. Already down 0-2 in this count. He's struck out 4 times in his last 2 games. That's been the struggle for Marshall so far this season. 22 of them in 19 games played this summer. 0-2. Off of the end of the bat, right to Venkot over at third. Throws over in time as Scanlon grabs it for out number 1. It's a check swing right there that Marshall just got off the end of the bat and ends up being out number 1 in the inning. Marshall down for the 2nd time today and brings up the extra hitter, Carson Beatty. Donlin on the mound won't mind the ground balls. He's been generating those all night long. There hasn't been a fly ball that has reached outside of the infield yet, as the next pitch swung on and fouled right behind me by Beatty. 0-1 the count. It's Beatty who grounded out to second to begin the top of the 2nd inning. 0-for-1 on the day. Here comes the 0-1. Off speed misses down low. 1-1 the count. It's finally some movement in the Boonville bullpen. It looks to be Will Markwood up and warming for the Lumberjacks as the 1-1 down low misses on Beatty. 2-1 the count now. Beatty had his double last game. That was just his 2nd of the year, ranging back. His first was on July 7th against the Utica Blue Sox. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Out in front of that one, and quickly 2-2 the count. It's Beatty, who's been an everyday player for this Lumberjack team. He's played in 12 of the last 13 games. As the 2-2. Down low misses, and the count runs full. It was Argenis Lopez, the everyday first baseman, and hasn't been with the team for just about 3 weeks now, and it's been Beatty, the freshman, who's been in prominent role. Payoff pitch. Off of the end of the bat, up the middle. This one gets through for a single, however. Beatty on for the first time today. It's just the 3rd hit of the Lumberjacks' day already here in the 4th inning. And it brings up the center fielder, Will Hill. A much-needed hit right there. The last 2 hits came back in the 2nd inning when the Lumberjacks scored their only run. All 3 hits singles so far today, though, as in steps Will Hill. Here comes the first pitch. In there for strike 1. Fastball clips the inside part of the zone. It's Hill, who walked his first time around, has been the only man to score a run for the Lumberjacks on the base paths today. Donlin, the lefty, ready, deals at the righty, Will Hill. Off speed tops the zone right there, and the count 1-1. It's Hill with a firehouse red bat above his head. Black gear on his leg as the 1-1 swung on and missed. 1-2 the count now. Hasn't gotten going as much as expected. He's had just a .206 average so far this season. Has added on 10 walks, though, including 1 earlier on in this game. A 1-2. Just fouls it over the Mohawk Valley dugout. Got a piece off the inside part of the bat and stays alive. The count remains 1-2. It's Donlin who's been really dealing out on the mound so far today out of Maine University. Looks back at the runner on first, it's Beatty. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. Gets him for strikeout number 6 on the day as he continues to be effective against the Lumberjacks. It's the first of the day for Will Hill and brings up Ian Farber. 2 outs in the inning with a runner on first. It's Carson Beatty who reached on the single and brings up Ian Farber, who struck out swinging in his first plate appearance today. First pitch. Down low, misses. 1-0 the count. Donlin's had some success in the lefty-lefty matchup so far today. Speedy, who's got a single. Bronx Lewis, who had an RBI single. And now Farber, who struck out already. Fouls the 1-0 back, and it's 1-1 now. Farber even 1-1 now. His only hit by pitch of the season came against Mohawk Valley back on May 28th. As here comes the 1-1. Takes it just outside, 2-1 the count now. Farber with a 178 average in 21 games played, 6 of those out on the mound. So here's the 2-1. Fouls it again to the backstop, and the count all even, 2-2 now. He's played in 3 previous games against the Diamond Dogs this season. It's 2 for 9 with a home run, 1 RBI off of the solo shot, and a walk. 2-2 with a runner, Beatty dancing back and forth on first. Donlin pays him no attention. Here comes the 2-2. Tops the zone, fastball misses, and the count full now. The runner, Beatty, will be going on this pitch as its bases will be moving. 2 outs with the bases loaded. Payoff pitch in there for a called third strike, and that will end the inning. They strand the runner Beatty over on first and continue to fail to plate runs. It's 9-1 Mohawk Valley as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be right back after this. Nine to 1 Mohawk Valley here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That's the day for the starting pitcher for Boonville, Jalen Fullwood. Final line for him is 3 innings pitched with 9 earned runs, 8 hits, a lot of them for extra bases with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts on the day for Fullwood. In comes Will Markwood, the pitcher for Boonville. It's pitched in 2 previous games with 4 innings so far, 4.5 ERA with 3 runs, 2 of them earned. First batter he faces is the DH Jack Dolan. First pitch is outside, 4-ball-1. So far this season for Markwood, 5 hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout allowed. As it's Dolan who's already reached twice in this game. The 1-0. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and the count 1-1 now. It's Dolan who reached on a walk back in the first inning and then tripled in the second inning. 1-1. Misses down low, 2-1 the count now. Again, Markwood hasn't walked any batters so far this season, but it's a tough Mohawk Valley lineup. It's proved to be challenging for the Lumberjacks. 2-1, foul to the backstop, 2-2 the count. It is a team that has been pretty thin, though. Along with the Lumberjacks, they've lost a lot of players, namely some of their stars in the last couple of weeks. So here comes the 2-2. Taken up high, 3-2 the count now. It was the Diamond Dogs who were in third place, were squarely ahead of Utica, ahead of Oneonta, ahead of Glens Falls, and now have really dropped because their players have left. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Markwood gets him down for strikeout number 1 and out number 1 in the inning. Brings up Roberto Valdez. So gets him punched out for the first out of the inning. Anyway, it was just about 2 weeks ago that Mohawk Valley started losing players, namely their star center fielder Eric Diaz and star backstop Joe Crenshaw, 2 players that have punished the Lumberjacks so far this season but are absent for this game. First pitch, in there for strike 1 on Valdez. They lost those 2 players along with many more as they're down to 11 position players in total. And then just started losing games. It's been 9 straight for them as they've struggled. 0-1. Down low misses, 1-1 the count now. But have really jumped on the Lumberjacks here tonight already with 2 home runs by Jake Hardy, another one by Kyle Coleman. And have continued to punish them as it's 9-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-1, hit hard into shallow center field. That one gets down for a single. Will Hill picks it up, battling the sun, but gets it in quickly. Valdez on with a 1-out knock, and it brings up Harsh Ramayan Venkat, the third baseman. Valdez on for the first time today. Did have a sacrifice fly in his last at-bat, but struck out the time before that. So here comes Venkat, the third baseman, batting with a runner on first. First pitch, swing and a miss, way out in front of that off-speed. 0-1 the count now. It's Venkat who was hit by a pitch to start the 8-run bottom of the second inning and then flew out for out number 2 in that inning as well. 1 out, 0-1 the count. Markwood deals. Fouled it back behind the press box, and the count 0-2. Venkat's pitched a lot, especially as of late, but has been needed more in the field as these games go on. Mohawk Valley don't really have a lot of options to turn to, especially positional-wise. 0-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and Will Markwood puts him down in 3 pitches for strikeout number 2 and out number 2 in the inning. Both of those strikeouts swinging as Markwood has already doubled his season total, came into the day with just 1 punch out and already with 2, and now brings up Ryan Payne for his third at-bat today. Struck out looking his last time up, singled in his first at-bat. Here comes the Fairfield freshman. First pitch. Up high, fastball misses from Markwood. It's Roberto Valdez over on first who reached on the 1-out single. Other than that, 2 strikeouts for Markwood, who's been clean this inning. 1-0. Just gets a piece of it and fouls it off of his ankle. A painful one right there as Payne going to have to walk that one off, and the count remains 1-1. Payne's only played 1 previous game against the Lumberjacks. That was his first game this summer with the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 walks in that game. He's ready for the 1-1. Markwood gets the sign. Here comes the pitch. Fouls it. Back and out of play in the count 1-2. Payne over at Fairfield had a 192 average, 15 hits, one of them a double, another a homer for 7 RBIs. Those numbers already better than his PGCBL numbers so far this season, but has played in about half the games this summer. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Markwood strikes out 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and that will do it. They leave a runner stranded on first. That was Valdez, but Markwood keeps it clean as Boonville remain at an 8-run deficit. It's 9-1 heading into the 5th inning. You're listening to Boonville Baseball on the Lumberjack Radio Network. Nine to 1 the score as the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs are on top of the Boonville Lumberjacks here in the top of the 5th inning, and the Diamond Dogs finally going to the bullpen. It's Allie Hood out there on the mound relieving Jack Donlin, who started this game. A very good start from the lefty Donlin. 4 innings pitched with 3 hits, 1 walk, and just 1 earned run, along with 7 Ks from the Maine University lefty. Now it's Allie Hood out on the mound for the Diamond Dogs. Right-hander, different look for the Lumberjacks. 9.91 ERA in 11 appearances so far this season. Faces Elijah Negron. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Negron out in front of the off-speed. It's Hood, who has faced the Lumberjacks previously. That was all the way back on opening day and navigated a scoreless top of the 7th before that game was rained out. Here's the 0-1. Chop to the pitcher's mound. Hood's got it. Underhands to Scanlon over at first, and it's in time for out number 1. Elijah Negron with a ground out. He's 1 for 2 on the day now and brings up the right fielder, Bronx Lewis. Time running out for the Lumberjacks already, as the run rule could come into effect in just 2 innings. Only 2 runs away from that, but that's a long way to go. In steps the lefty, Bronx Lewis. Here's the first pitch from Hood. Fastball in there for strike 1. It's Lewis who had the RBI single his first time up back in the 2nd inning, and that's been the only run that Boonville have been able to plate all day. 0-1. Hit high down the third base line. Vencott ranging towards the wall, stops just to the left of the foul line and makes the catch for out number 2. Thought that one was coming over towards me, but instead just holds up. Vencott about 2 feet from the wall down here in left field, and 2 outs brings up the left fielder, Noah Reed. Second foul out of the day, the first by Masai Marshall last inning. as here comes Reed with 2 outs. First pitch, misses down low, 1-0 the count. It's Reed who struck out swinging to end the second inning. Left runners on first and second. So here comes the 1-0 pitch from Hood. Fastball in there for strike 1. It's Reed against Mohawk Valley this season, just 3 for 14. 3 RBIs, including a sac fly, as well as 1 walk. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss down low in the dirt. Reed couldn't make up his mind right there, and ultimately an uncompetitive swing. He's quickly down 1-2. Over half of Reed's at-bats against Mohawk Valley have been strikeouts. He's had 8 punch-outs in 14 at-bats against the Diamond Dogs this season. 1-2. Chopped foul down the left side. Count remains at 1-2. He's had no walks in his last 4 games, but has been on base in 9 of the last 12 games. Reached last time out with a hit and a hit by pitch against Oneonta. So here comes the 1-2. In there for a called third strike and goes down looking for the second time today. It's another 1-2-3, the third of the day by the Lumberjacks, and they continue to trail the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. It's 9-1 heading into the top of the 5th. We'll be right back after this. Nine to 1 the score here in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Boonville Lumberjacks trail the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. It's still Will Markwood out there for his 2nd inning of work here tonight. Battled through the first inning, struck out 3 batters while allowing a Roberto Valdez single, and now is back out there for inning number 2 of work. It's the catcher, Jaden Santiago, and the top of the order, Jake Hardy and Kyle Coleman after that. So in steps the catcher, Santiago, out of San Diego, California. Had a strikeout his last time up. Reached on an error in his first at-bat so far today. Next pitch. In there for strike 1. Off-speed clips the outside part of the zone from Markwood. Markwood, who struck out all 3 batters that he faced last inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tip from Santiago, who just gets a piece of it, fouls it into the glove of Bischoff, and the count 0-2. 9 hits from the Diamond Dogs, just 3 from Boonville, along with 2 errors on the Lumberjack side. 0-2 from Markwood. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop this time, and remains 0-2. Markwood is one of the only D3 players on this team, the only pitcher, and he's really been dealing out here this season. He's looked particularly good out here tonight. Here comes the 0-2. Inside, Santiago moves the knees out of the way, and the count 1-2 now. It's Markwood, who pitched with the Lumberjacks last season, had a 16 ERA, but Now he's out here rehabbing an injury and has really been fantastic. The 1-2. Almost in there. Santiago thought about swinging, but instead the count all even, 2-2. Catcher Seth Bischoff had to hold that one in the spot for a couple extra seconds. Could have easily been called the third strike right there. 2-2 the count now. Markwood deals the pitch. Misses down low. The fastball this time, and the count is full now on Jaden Santiago. Only time he reached so far tonight was on the error back in the first inning from the pitcher Jalen Fullwood. Came off the bunt. 3-2 is inside as the fastball misses. Santiago battles back from being down 0-2, and now there's a meeting at the mound between Bischoff and the pitcher Markwood. So first walk of the day, first base runner allowed by Markwood as Bischoff is done talking with him out on the mound. It brings up Jake Hardy, who's already had 2 extra base hits so far tonight. Had a double and a home run his last time up. Also popped out to short to begin the bottom of the first inning. Mohawk Valley looking for run number 10. As Hardy digs in on the right side. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider down low gets him. Count is 0-1. It's Hardy, who was a Penn State player as a freshman, transferred to Fairfield as a sophomore, and now is going to George Washington University as a junior. 0-1. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. In his sophomore year over at Fairfield at a .223 average with a .322 on-base percentage, 41 hits including 6 home runs for 32 RBIs, 24 walks. The 0-2, down low, skips off of the dirt, off of the chest plate there of Seth Bischoff, the catcher, but fields it cleanly and gives back to the pitcher Markwood. First summer in the PGCBL as well for Hardy. Hadn't played up here last season. He awaits the 1-2 from Markwood. Here it comes. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it off of the inside part of the barrel, and the count remains 1-2. Hardy started the year off with 2 homers in his first 3 weeks of play, but coming into tonight, his last 7 extra base hits have been doubles, and added on a double and a home run so far tonight. The 1-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. Markwood gets strikeout number 4 on the day for his 4th out so far. And it brings up Kyle Coleman. First strikeout of the day for Hardy, and Markwood continues to look really good out there on the mound. Again, he's had 4 outs all night, and all 4 of them via the punch-out. Still does have the runner Jaden Santiago to deal with out on first. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken high for ball 1. It's Coleman with a home run and a ground out fly out as well here tonight. That 2-run home run came back in the second inning. Here comes the 1-0. Inside off the glove of Bischoff, but doesn't roll far. Santiago holds up in the count 2-0. It's Boonville trailing by 8 runs, 9-1 the score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner Santiago on first, 1 out. 2-0 on the way to Coleman. Hit hard to the left side, Swingham picks it up, throws over to second for 1. Relay is not in time. It's past the first baseman Farber, but Coleman can't go anywhere. Backing it up is Seth Bischoff, and they get 1 out right there, a fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning brings up the first baseman, Connor Scanlon. Really could have been 2 right there, could have ended the inning, but instead it brings up Scanlon, who's already reached all 3 times that he's been at the plate tonight. Walked in the first and hit a double and a single in the second inning. Bats with a runner on first and 2 outs here. Markwood ready. Here's the pitch as the runner goes from first. It's taken up high for ball 1, and the throw not nearly in time by Bischoff, skips in the dirt in front of Davis. And a stolen base right there for Kyle Coleman. First of the night for either team, and already a runner in scoring position. Still 2 outs here for Scanlon. Came in today batting .282 on the season with nearly a .500 slugging percentage. Leads the team in RBIs with 38 and has another opportunity right here. Markwood awaits the sign from Bischoff, finally gets it, and steps off. Scanlon, the only player on this team that has reached in all 3 at-bats so far today. A lot of players that have reached in 2 of their at-bats, but Scanlon's the only one who's perfect. 1-0. Taken in there for strike 1, just above the knees, and the count 1-1 now. Wasn't so successful last night against Utica. It was 0 for 5 with 4 groundouts and a flyout. Markwood ready. The 1-1. Chop to the right side, right back to the pitcher Markwood. Underhands to Farber and gets him for out number 3. Mohawk Valley leave one stranded at second as Will Markwood continues to be perfect out here. And it's 2 scoreless innings for the right-hander, and it's still 9-1 Mohawk Valley. We head to the 6th inning. We'll be right back after this. Nine to 1, still the score here. We've had 3 scoreless innings by both sides as Mohawk Valley out on top of the Boonville Lumberjacks. It's the backstop Seth Bischoff stepping in against Allie Hood. First pitch, hit to the left side, picked up by Venkot, thrown over in time as Scanlon squeezes it for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the inning for Allie Hood, who had a 1-2-3 inning last time up, and the lineup flips over for Kanias Davis. Bischoff 0 for 2 on the day. This is just the 3rd time around the order for the Lumberjacks as here comes Davis, 0 for 2 himself. Digs in on the right side. The pitch. Off the dirt, Santiago can't handle it, and it's out in front. 1-0 the count. It's Davis who's grounded out and struck out so far tonight. Came into today batting .304 on the season, though. .438 on base percentage. The 1-0. Taken in there for strike 1. 1-1 the count. It's Davis who's had multiple hits in 3 of his last 6 games. Had 2 hits in each of them as the 1-1 in there for strike 2 as well. Fastball just at the knees, it would appear. So 1-2 the count on Kanias Davis. Hood stares him down. Gets the sign. Here comes the pitch. Same spot, just misses a little bit below. It's the off speed right there for Allie Hood. Just misses and Davis stays alive. It's 2-2. 1 out, no runners on. Here comes the 2-2. In there for a called 3rd strike. Davis jumps up and down repeatedly. Think he knew it. And that is out number 2 in the inning. Second strikeout of the day for Davis, the first looking, and it brings up Zeb Swangham with 2 outs. Swangham 0 for 2 as well with a strikeout and a pop out to first in foul territory. First pitch, swing and a miss, slider down low in the dirt gets him. 0-1 the count. Allie Hood has really been dealing against this lineup here tonight. Faced the Lumberjacks all the way back on opening day as the 0-1 hit hard into left field. Going back on this one is Freaker and makes the catch for out number 3. Lumberjacks go down 1-2-3 for the 4th time tonight and continue to fail to put up runs. It's 9-1, Mohawk Valley on top, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be right back after this. Nine to 1 the score as Mohawk Valley beating up on the Boonville Lumberjacks here. It's the bottom of the 6th inning as we've gone 3 scoreless innings in a row for both of these teams, as it's Will Markwood out for his 3rd inning of work. So far, he's kept it scoreless as it's Brody Freaker, the left fielder, stepping in on the right side. Markwood deals the first pitch, taken in there for strike 1. After Freaker, it's the designated hitter Jake Dolan and the second baseman Roberto Valdez. Freaker 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the 0-1. Hit hard into center field. That one gets down for a hit. Will Hill goes down to one knee to pick it up, but it's the second single of the day for Freaker. He's on for the 3rd time, and it brings up Jake Dolan, the DH. It's Dolan, who's also reached twice so far this game. Walked and had a triple. Digs in on the right side now against Markwood, who just gave up his first hit of the day. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball taken in there for strike 1. The only previous base runner was Jaden Santiago, the catcher, who reached on a walk last inning against Markwood, but other than that, he's kept it very clean here in this game. The 0-1, swing and a miss, down low in the dirt, and the count 0-2. It's Dolan, a Seton Hall commit, .333 batting average this season. Already with the 1 hit and the walk against Boonville. 0-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one and goes down via the punch out. That's strikeout number 5 on the night for Will Markwood and out number 1 in the inning. It's Dolan's 2nd K in a row and now brings up Roberto Valdez, the second baseman. Strikeout, sac fly, and single so far tonight for Valdez, the St. John's University freshman. Markwood's offering. Hit down the left field line, picked out of the air by Negron. Throwback is not in time. Farber can't handle it. The throw was a little bit offline by Negron, but he made a spectacular grab right there. Virtually no reaction time right there by Negron, who had to stick out the glove. It was probably extra bases if that got down in the left field alley, but instead Negron saves one for his pitcher, Will Markwood. And there's 2 outs in the inning for Harsh Ramayan Venkat. Runner goes from first as the pitch in there for strike 1. The throw not in time, though. Davis applies the tag, but it's late. It was a great play right there by the third baseman, Elijah Negron. Had an error earlier in the game, but flashed the leather right there. 1-0 the count now on Venkat. With the stirrups, here's the 1-0. In there for strike 1, 1-1 the count. So far tonight, Venkat hit by a pitch, flew out and struck out. 0 for 2 on the night. Facing Markwood for the second time as well. Struck out in his first appearance against Markwood. 0-2. Swing and a miss, down low in the dirt. Gets him for out number 3, and Will Markwood with strikeout number 6 on the night in 3 innings of work continues to shut the Diamond Dogs down. It's still 9-1. Mohawk Valley out on top as we head to the 7th inning. We'll be right back on the Boonville Radio Network after this. Nine to 1, Mohawk Valley out on top here in the top of the 7th inning. It's Masai Marshall stepping out there against Allie Hood, who's out there for his 3rd inning of work, backing up the starter, Jack Donlin, who just surrendered 1 run in 4 innings of work. First pitch is on the way to Marshall. Down low in the dirt, hits just in front of home plate, and the count is 1-0 now. It's Marshall, the designated hitter for tonight. So far 0 for 2 with a ground out and a flyout. Hood gets the sign from Santiago. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 1, the count all even, 1-1 now. Still Allie Hood, who faced the Lumberjacks back on opening day, and has looked just as effective here tonight. The 1-1. In there for strike 2, 1-2 the count. It's really been a duel between relievers, as Will Markwood on the Boonville side has looked very good through 3 innings, and Markwood has been equaling him. There hasn't been a run scored since the 3rd inning in this game. 1-2. Just misses up high, 2-2 the count. We're already in the 7th now, as both relievers have come in and really turned the game around. It was a slugfest, at least from the Mohawk Valley side through the first couple innings, but the relievers have shut it down. 2-2. Down low, misses. Count runs full on Marshall. Hood hasn't surrendered a base runner yet. He's put the Lumberjacks down 1-2-3 in both the top of the 5th and 6th inning. In danger of letting one go right here, though, as he asks for a new baseball. He'll get one. It's Marshall who takes a walk around, 0 for 2 on the day, but comes in with a .216 batting average. Reached base twice last game against Oneonta, but Also did have 2 strikeouts. Umpire says play ball, Hood's ready. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hits him in the back. Marshall tried to get out of the way of that one, but it was on a collision course. That one hit him directly on the belt line on his back. Had to turn, and luckily he did, but it's the first base runner on against Allie Hood and brings up the first baseman, Carson Beatty. Head coach Christian Griffin comes down from third. He's going to want to talk to home plate umpire and just says a quick word, turns back around, and that'll do it. So Carson Beatty out now. He's reached once so far, a single and a ground out. First pitch, down low, slider misses. It's 1-0. It's Beatty, the Kalamazoo College freshman, who's batting .184, just 2 extra base hits in 18 games played as the first baseman. The 1-0 takes it inside, 2-0 the count now. Does like to draw the walk, however. He's got 12 walks in 18 games played. That's his weapon of choice, as he's got a .339 on-base percentage. The 2-0 takes it down low. The slider doesn't even reach home plate, and 3-0 the count now on Beatty. Hood, who looked very good through his first 2 innings, didn't allow a base runner, and now is already down 3-0 with a runner on first. No outs here in the top of the 7th. Beatty looking to get on for his 2nd time here tonight. The 3-0. Down low, skips off the glove of Santiago, but it doesn't matter. That's ball 4, and runners first and second now with no outs for the Lumberjacks. There's going to be a meeting at the mound as Hood just trying to calm it down. It's Santiago out as he's going to push the infield back. Just going to be the pitching coach, catcher, and the pitcher out here. It's Masai Marshall out on second, who reached on a hit-by pitch on a 3-2 count. Then it's Beatty, who just drew the 4-pitch walk out on first base. It's Will Hill at the plate now, then Ian Farber, the first baseman, and Elijah Negron. Farber 0 for 2, Negron 1 for 2, and Will Hill 0 for 1 with the strikeout, but also did reach on a walk. Hill, the only run scored so far of this game, and he's got an opportunity for an RBI right here with runners on first and second, no outs. Not too much speed on the base paths. It's Marshall out on second, who's been dealing with a hamstring injury, and Carson Beatty out on first, who's 6'5" and 240 pounds. First pitch on the way to Hill, swing and a miss out in front of that one, 0-1 the count. Hill's ramped up the playing time. He's played in 10 of the last 11 games, but he's had just 6 RBIs this season. Here comes the 0-1. Off the end of the bat to the left side, picked up by the shortstop Payne, but he can't get it. It's off the glove, and the Lumberjacks finally get an error to go in their favor. Will Hill is safe at first, and everyone is safe. It's Marshall moving to third, Carson Beatty moving to second, and they catch a break right there. E6 the call on Ryan Payne, and the Lumberjacks won't mind. They've got the bases loaded with no outs here for the power-hitting first baseman Ian Farber. Hood readies for the pitch. Here it comes. Off the end of the bat, fouled behind home plate. It's Farber, who's got 2 home runs this season. One of them came against Mohawk Valley in this very building back on opening day. Would love another one right here with the bases loaded. Hood looks at the runner on third and deals. Off the end of the bat, this time to first, picked up by Scanlon. No throw. Covering first is the pitcher, Hood. He gets him for out number 1, but a run does score. Masai Marshall comes in from third. It's Beatty moving to third, and Will Hill moving to second. As basically a swinging bunt right there from Farber. It does the job, though, as there's 1 out in the inning. Runners on second and third, and brings up Elijah Negron. So 9-2 the score. Boonville getting back into this game as here comes Farber. Or Negron, excuse me. First pitch on him. Fastball in there for strike 1. It's Negron, who reached on a single in the second inning, but grounded out back in the fifth. That's been it from the University of Maryland East Shore sophomore so far today. The 0-1. Down low, gets away from Santiago, but not too far. Beatty can't go anywhere, and the count 1-1. Haven't seen Beatty steal a base so far this season. He's out on third. It's Will Hill on second, who won't be going anywhere with the first baseman in front of him. It's Negron, the third baseman in the box now. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack right there from Negron, and goes down 1-2. Haven't seen a home run from Negron since all the way back June 6th when he earned the A-Town Bats Hitter of the Week. 3 home runs in that week, but hasn't been able to do it since. The 1-2. Hit down the right field line, foul. Absolutely smoked that ball. Would have been extra bases had it been just a couple feet to the left, but instead a foul ball, a long strike, and the count remains 1-2. It's Bronx Lewis, the lefty, on deck, then Noah Reed. Hood ready for the 1-2. The pitch. Down low, misses. 2-2 the count now. Negron's been patient here tonight. He's been extending at bats. Trying to run up the mileage on Ali Hood's arm here, as he's already expended a lot of pitches through 3 innings. The 2-2. Just off the inner part of the bat. Fouls it to the backstop, and the count remains 2-2. Negron just battling out there, trying to stay alive. Pass the torch to Bronx Lewis, who's on deck. It's runners on second and third, 1 out. 2-2 the count to Negron. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off yet again, this time over the Mohawk Valley dugout, and they'll do it again. Negron has avoided the strikeout here today. He's been punched out in 3 of the last 5 games. Leads the team with 28 so far this season, but just continues to battle right here. Pitch number 8 of the at-bat on the way from Ali Hood. This one up the middle. It's to the shortstop. Payne can't field it yet again. Will Hill held up on third as another run scores. It's Carson Beatty coming in from third, and the second error in the inning on the shortstop means it's one more run for the Lumberjacks. 9-3 the score, as Boonville starting to get back into this game. It's really 2 balls right there that could have been double plays. One that Will Hill reached on, who moved to third on that at-bat, and now one that Negron gets right there. He won't mind, though. In comes Bronx Lewis. Here's the first pitch. Takes that one for strike 1. It's Lewis who had the RBI single back in the second inning and then flew out back in the 5th. Great opportunity with runners on the corners. 1 out right here. The 0-1 as the runner goes from first. Pitch is down low for a ball, and throw not in time. Negron looks to have injured his back right there. Christian Griffin paces nervously, but it looks like he'll be all right. Was a rough slide right there. Negron came down really hard on his hips, but gets the stolen base. That's the important part. Double play ball is out of the picture now, as it's runners second and third with 1 out. 1-1 the count on Bronx Lewis. Awaits the pitch from Ali Hood. Here it comes. Fastball up high, 2-1 the count now. Boonville continue to battle. They've been resilient this season. Haven't won an away game, not in Utica. But one tonight would be big to break the losing streak. Here's the 2-1. Taken up high, 3-1 the count now. It's Boonville, who have had 17 straight losses, 9 for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, and really a game that somebody's got to win. 3-1 the count now on Bronx Lewis. Hood deals. Swing and a miss. Big hack right there, and he goes down. It's a full count. Hood does have a place to put him. That would load the bases, though, with just one out. It's Noah Reed and Seth Bischoff due up next, and then the lineup flips over. Payoff pitch looms. Here it comes. Just off the end of the bat. That would have been ball 4 for Lewis, who swung and overextended himself on that swing, and the count remains full. Staying alive, though, that's the important part. Runners second and third, one out. Allie Hood gets the sign from Santiago. Payoff pitch for the second time. In there for a called third strike. Lewis frozen, doesn't move the feet, and that is out number 2. Missed opportunity right there for Boonville, who had ball 4, but instead go down on strikes. It's strikeout number 3 on the day for Hood and out number 2 in the inning, and brings up Noah Reed with 2 outs. It's Reed, who struck out twice tonight himself, both of them swinging. First pitch. Off of home plate, Will Hill's going to break for home, and he's in there safely. Negron moves to third as well, as it's another run for Boonville. They inch just a little bit closer, as it's 9-4 here in the top of the 7th inning. Already 3 runs plated for the Lumberjacks in this inning, with another with another runner on third. It's 9-4. As the pitcher, Allie Hood, has to tie his shoe right here. 1-0 the count to Noah Reed. (1-0). In there for strike 1. The count all even, 1-1 now. It's Reed, who hasn't had an RBI since July 8th against Glens Falls. Just 1 in his last 13 games, but a runner on third right here. The 1-1. Popped high. This one moving towards the left field foul line. Over is Venkot. Makes the catch. Almost overran it, but didn't. And a pop out right there in foul territory for Noah Reed. But the Lumberjacks do get 3 back. They cut the deficit to 5 as it's 9-4 heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be right back on the Lumberjack Radio Network after this. Nine to 4 the score as Boonville get 3 in the top of the 7th inning to make it a little bit closer, but it's the Diamond Dogs still on top. They're leading by 5 runs, and Will Markwood out of the game for the Lumberjacks. Come in and does his job. 3 innings pitched with 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for the right-hander Markwood, but now in comes Matthew Helmer Jr. We've seen him feature in 8 games so far this season, 9.1 innings pitched with a 13.5 ERA. He's got 16 runs, 14 of them earned on 11 hits, 13 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's tasked with keeping a 5-run Mohawk Valley lead just at 5. And stepping in for the Diamond Dogs is the shortstop, Ryan Payne. It's Payne who made 2 errors in the field in the last half inning and now steps in the batter's box. First pitch. Slider misses away. Bischoff has to slide and grab that one in the count 1-0. It's Payne so far today, who is 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts as well as a single all the way back in the second inning. The 1-0. Down low, misses again, 2-0 the count now. It's Payne who's got 24 strikeouts and 8 walks so far in 12 games played for the Diamond Dogs this summer. The 2-0. Misses up high, 3-0 the count now. It's Helmer who has struggled with the walks so far this season. 13 walks allowed in 9 1/3 innings pitched. 3-0. In there for strike 1. Helmer's needed to come in and eat innings, be productive for this Boonville team. He's looked really good in some appearances, including some against Mohawk Valley, as the 3-1 way up high, as that's going to be a 5-pitch walk for Helmer right there. He allows Ryan Payne to reach for the first batter of the inning and brings up the catcher, Jaden Santiago. It's Santiago who's reached twice so far tonight, reached on an error by the pitcher Fullwood back in the second inning and then walked in the 5th inning. Also had a strikeout back in the 3rd, bookended by those 2 plate appearances. Batting in the 9-hole here tonight. So here comes pitch number 1. Shows bunt, gets it down the first base side, picked up by Bischoff, throw over in time as Farber sticks out the glove to get him for out number 1. Advancing over to second is the shortstop, Ryan Payne.
Now batting for your Dawgs, center fielder number 4 from Fairfield.
Not the first time we've seen Santiago square the bunt here tonight. Came all the way back in that second inning when he reached on the error. It was the throw that Fullwood ultimately airmailed, but Lumberjacks execute the bunt defense to perfection right there, as there's 1 out in the inning for the leadoff man, Jake Hardy. Helmer looks back at the runner Payne on second, steps off, throws, not in time. It's Hardy who's reached in 2 of his 4 plate appearances, a double and a home run so far tonight. He's been effective out of the leadoff spot and bats with a runner in scoring position again right here. First pitch, fouled back and out of play, 0-1 the count. It's Hardy who came into this game with a .373 batting average and nearly a .500 on-base percentage. Leads the team with 50 hits and 24 RBIs. 0-1 the count on him here. Helmer ready, the pitch. In there for strike 2. Fastball right at the knees, and quickly Hardy down 0-2. Does also lead this Mohawk Valley team in strikeouts, though. He's got 21 punch-outs on the season, coupled with 23 walks, though. Helmer hunting for his first strikeout of the day. Here comes the 0-2. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop, and the count remains 0-2. Hardy's been on base of 17 in 17 of his 18 games played. He's got 8 hits in his last 3 games, one of which was a double. He's been on fire as of late. Here comes the 0-2. Taken at the knees, looks to be the same spot, but called for ball. Count is 1-2 now. Added 2 of those hits last night against Utica. 2 RBIs as well as 1 strikeout. And what ultimately was a loss for the Diamond Dogs. The 1-2. Swing and just gets a piece of that one again. Fouled it to the backstop, and the count remains at 1-2. It's Hardy trying to defend the plate right here on the right side. The 1-2 from Helmer. Down low, misses. The off speed can't find the zone, and the count 2-2 now. It's Payne on second, who reached on the walk and was bunted over by Jaden Santiago. The leadoff man, Jake Hardy, up with just one out here in the bottom of the seventh. Matthew Helmer Jr. battling back and forth as he throws back to second. Davis gets it and throws it right back. Hardy already with 2 extra base hits and 3 RBIs here tonight. Had a solo shot in third, an RBI double in the second, and swings and misses on the 2-2 right there. Helmer sets him down for the first strikeout of the day, and it's out number 2. Brings up the right fielder, Kyle Coleman. Things don't get much easier with Coleman, though, as the right fielder, another player with the home run here in this game, a 2-run shot back in the second inning. And bats with a runner on second, 2 outs here in this bottom of the seventh. Digs in on the right side. Here's the pitch. Inside, thought that slider was going to hit him, but instead is a ball. It's Helmer with the baby blue glove out there on the mound. Next pitch misses up high. He has to duck out of the way, and it's 2-0. These two teams battling, both trying to end lengthy losing streaks. 9 for the Diamond Dogs, 16 for the Lumberjacks. Helmer steps off as there's somebody out on the field down the right field line. Looks to be a pitching coach just warming up one of the pitchers in the Mohawk Valley dugout. Count remains 2-0 here on Coleman. The next pitch, down low, misses. 3-0 the count now. Was Mohawk Valley coming off of a loss in Utica last night. Boonville coming off of a loss against Oneonta. 3-0. In there for strike 1. Hasn't been any rain here tonight, as opposed to yesterday where there was showers. Canceled the Lumberjacks game, but it was the only game canceled in the PGCBL. 3-1. Check swing, in there for strike 2. Late call by the home plate umpire, but the count runs full. It was interesting, no other games were canceled as it was just a wet spot out at short and was enough to cancel the game against Amsterdam. Payoff pitch, in there for a called third strike. Helmer sprints to the dugout as that will do it for the bottom of the 7th inning. Helmer keeps it clean as Boonville continues to trail by 5. It's 9-4 heading into the 8th inning. We'll be right back on the Boonville Radio Network after this. 9-4 the score here as Mohawk Valley still on top of the Boonville Lumberjacks, but not out of the woods yet. Boonville put up 3 on the reliever Ali Hood in the last inning, and now his day is done. Final line for Hood, 3 innings pitched with 3 runs, just 1 of them earned on 3 hits, 2 walks, and 2 errors by the shortstop Brian Payne. New man out on the mound is Colin Scaremont. The pitcher has 4 previous appearances with 5 1/3 innings pitched, 5.06 ERA, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned on 5 hits, 7 walks, and 8 strikeouts. For the Lumberjacks, it's going to be the catcher, Seth Bischoff. Then the lineup flips over for Kanias Davis and Zeb Swangam, the 3 due up in the inning. First up is the catcher, Bischoff, though, steps in on the right side. 0 for 2 on the day with strikeout looking and a ground out to third. Awaits the first pitch from Scaremont. He deals from the left side. Slider down low in the dirt. Count is 1-0. It's Bischoff, who is now the only backstop left on this team after Oliver Lawrence has departed. So here comes the 1-0. Down low for strike 1. 1-1 the count. It's Bischoff, who's been with this team all the way from the start of the season. It was him and Jacob Young, the catching tandem, to start the year, and here comes the 1-1. Down low to the backstop, 2-1 the count, as Santiago rushes out to have a conversation with Scaremont. And then Jacob Young left, and in came Oliver Lawrence, the high school senior, the replacement, and now Lawrence has gone home, and still Bischoff out here working this summer. Out of Grand Rapids Community College, he's been reliable at the backstop position all season long. Out of Middleville, Michigan, just spending his summer out here working on his game. Had a home run here back on opening day. He's been working with assistant coach Trent Nash on his swing and really has paid dividends for him. He's ahead 2-1 right here on Scaremont. Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was down low in the dirt, and the count remains 2-2. Bischoff's last game was back against Amsterdam, was 0 for 2 in that one. 2 for 9 against the Diamond Dogs this season with that 1 home run. Here's the 2-2. Swing on a miss, pitch way out in front of home plate, and Seth Bischoff goes down on strikes right there. First strikeout of the day for Scaremont, and 1 out in the inning brings up the second baseman, Kanias Davis. Second strikeout of the day as well for Bischoff, and in comes Davis, who's got 2 punch-outs of his own. The lefty deals. Off speed up high, 1-0 the count. It's Davis out of Alcorn State, the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. He's been one of the best players on this team, as here's the 1-0. Down low in the dirt, 2-0 the count. He's got a .304 batting average, .438 on base percentage, 17 hits, 3 of them doubles. One of those against Oneonta about a week and a half ago. As here comes the 2-0 from Scaremont. Down low in the dirt yet again off the chest plate of Santiago, and 3-0 the count now on Davis. Had that double fresh off the plane from the Swingman Classic. Touchdown, drove from Syracuse to Boonville, got on the plane to Oneonta, and had a 2-hit performance. Here comes the 3-0. Down low, the slider misses, and they pitch around Davis. Oh, but it's called for a strike. Late strike call right there as head coach Christian Griffin over to talk with the home plate umpire. And the count remains at 3-1. Christian Griffin halfway down in between third and home as here comes the pitch. That one down low and finally called for ball 4. Davis with delayed gratification right there, but reaches with 1 out in the inning and brings up Zeb Swangam, the shortstop. First time today that Davis has been on in 4 at-bats and brings up Swangam, who's 0 for 3 himself. 1 out with a runner on first. It's the lefty Scaramont against the righty Zeb Swangham. Here comes the pitch. Taken for strike one. The off-speed clips the bottom part of the zone. It's Zeb Swangham, who's actually a really good golfer. Found that out the hard way. Played scramble against him last week as here comes the 0-1. In there for strike two. 0-2 the count now. It was him and Wyatt Lassiter, the outfielder, who's not in the lineup today, against me and my fellow intern Brady Foxwell, and we found out the hard way that Zeb Swangham is very good at golf. As here comes the 0-2. It just gets a piece and fouls it to the backstop. Count remains 0-2. It was almost every ball of the scramble was used by Zeb Swangham. Seems like every time he went to chip, the ball ended up about 5 feet from the cup. And his drives as well. Told me that his dad's a pro golfer, gives golf lessons, and that's where he gets it from. He's down 0-2 to Scaramont. Here comes the pitch. Just off the end of the bat down over the Mohawk Valley dugout, and the count remains 0-2. Had the nicest pair of clubs I've probably ever seen as well. Nice tailor-made set. A huge white driver in it. Beautiful putter as well. It's no wonder why he was absolutely whooping us out there. Pick back to Davis is not in time. Slides back head first over at first base. Wyatt Lassiter wasn't a bad golfer either, for those of you wondering. Completely held his own. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Golf swing right there by Swangham, and goes down for strikeout number 2 by Scaramont. That's the second out of the inning, and brings up the DH, Masai Marshall. Pitch really in the dirt right there. The slider pulled up on Swangham and brings up Marshall, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a hit by pitch. Scored back in that 7th inning. Was the first of 3 runs to be plated by the Lumberjacks, and bats with 2 outs and a runner on first now. Scaramont deals the pitch. Off speed in there for strike 1. It's Marshall, a ground out, fly out, and the hit by pitch. He's coming into today with a .388 on base percentage. He's been consistent for this Boonville team when needed. Needs to get on base right here. Pick back, not in time. Davis sliding head first again. It's Boonville trailing by 5 runs here in the top of the 7th inning. Just need to get something going to get back into the game. 0-1. In there for strike 2. The off-speed clips the bottom part of the zone now, and quickly Marshall down to his last strike. He steps out now to gather himself before this big pitch. He's got 23 strikeouts so far this season in 19 games played. Here comes the 0-2 as the runner goes from first. It's fouled over the Mohawk Valley dugout, and Kanias Davis has to run all the way back. It's Marshall, who struck out in 13 of 19 games played this season. Hasn't struck out yet today, but does have 4 in his last 2 games. He's down 0-2 to Colin Scaramont right here. The next pitch, down low in the dirt. Santiago stops it with the glove, and the count is 1-2. Marshall, 2 RBIs in his last 4 games, all of them off of a 2-run home run against Amsterdam last week. Davis thought about going, went a little bit early, and Scaramont picks back at him. He dives back in there safely, however. It's already the 3rd disengagement of this at-bat from the lefty Scaramont, who's got a good vantage point at the runner Davis. Here comes the 1-2. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it off as Davis was getting a huge lead down there at first. Didn't quite steal second base, but was just about halfway in between the base paths. Still 1-2 the count now on Marshall, the Northwestern University transfer, going to George Washington University for next summer, or for next season. 1-2 the count. Pitch number 6 on the way by Scaremont. Pick back, not in time. 4th one right there by Scaremont, who's very afraid of the base stealing ability of Kanias Davis. Davis does lead the team in stolen bases with 10 so far this summer. He goes there, the pitch down low, and he's got the stolen base easily. Runs over to second. The throw by Santiago, a good one, but way late as he's got stolen base number 11 right there, and the count moves to 2-2 on Masai Marshall. Runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. 2-2 the count. Marshall focused. Here's the pitch. Hit to the right side. That one gets through. They're going to send Kanias Davis home as the throw by the right fielder Coleman is not in time. It's cut off, and an RBI single right there by Masai Marshall. Just his 3rd RBI in the last 5 games, but a much-needed one right there as Boonville cut the lead down to 4. It's 9-5 here in the top of the 8th inning. First hit of the day, first RBI of the day for Marshall, and it brings up Carson Beatty, who's been on twice already. First pitch, down low, misses. 1-0 the count. It's Marshall over on first. He's got a decent-sized lead as well, but don't expect him to steal any bases. Just 1 so far this season. Pick back by Scaremont as Masai Marshall dives back in plenty of time. 1-0 the count now on Beatty, who's walked and singled so far today. The 1-0. Hit off the end of the bat, back and over the locker rooms, and the count 1-1. Boonville have trailed in a lot of games, especially early, but have come back in some of them, notably a 16-run comeback against Utica that they ultimately would lose. Here's the 1-1. Just tops the zone. 2-1 the count now as the Mohawk Valley dugout not happy with that one. It's the runner Marshall over on first who just reached on the single. 2 outs here and 2-1 the count on the lefty Carson Beatty. 2-1. Down low. 3-1 the count now. It's the lefty Scaremont against the lefty Beatty. Saw a lot of these matchups as the starter for this game for Mohawk Valley. Jack Donlin was a lefty. He awaits the 3-1 pitch from Scaremont. Here it comes. Down low in the dirt, draws the 5-pitch walk, and Boonville continue getting back into this game. Runners first and second as there's a second meeting out on the mound between Santiago and Scaremont, and it brings up Will Hill, the center fielder. It's Masai Marshall out on second, continually giving advice and support to this Boonville team. As it's a bit of a 2-out rally here. Marshall with the 2-out knock, and Beatty with the walk right there. So runners first and second, 2 outs for Will Hill. He's reached on an error and walked as well as struck out so far today. Scaremont deals against the righty. Taken outside for ball 1. Will Hill coming into the day with a .206 average, just 6 RBIs, but he's already scored a run here in this one and got an RBI off of the error by the shortstop Ryan Payne in his last at-bat. Here comes the 1-0. Taken up high, the fastball misses. 2-0 the count now, and all of a sudden Scaremont hasn't been able to throw a strike for just about 3 at-bats. So far this season, Scaremont hasn't struggled with the walk too much. As here comes the 2-0. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was in the dirt, and the count 2-1. Has 7 previous walks allowed in 5 1/3 innings pitched. It's a little bit of a struggle, but nothing too out of the ordinary. He's already thrown 3 balls out of the zone to Will Hill, but the count 2-1. 2 outs, runners first and second. Here's the pitch. That one way up high. The off speed gets away from him, and the count 3-1. It's the first baseman Ian Farber on deck, who's already got a grand slam this season, and Elijah Negron and Bronx Lewis behind him. 3-1 the count to Will Hill. It's already reached on a walk and scored all the way back in the second inning. It's a 3-1 count to him right here. Scaremont steps off and feels the pressure. They wanted a balk right there. They won't give it to him. Christian Griffin pleading his case, just trying to get anything back for this Boonville team as they trail by 4 runs. It's 9-5 here in the top of the 8th. Will Hill ready for the 3-1. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another pitch down low. Will Hill goes after it, and the count runs full. 2 outs here. Runners on first and second. Full count. The runners will be going from first and second. As here comes the payoff pitch by Scaremont. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop on an off-speed that was in the zone. Will Hill stays alive. He's had 2 extra base hits in the month of July, both of them triples. One against Oneonta on July 14th and one against Glens Falls on July 8th. Would love another one of those right here. The 3-2. Up high, misses, and ball 4 to Will Hill. They've got the bases loaded with 2 outs, and it's going to bring up the first baseman and lefty, Ian Farber. 2 straight walks by Scaremont, 1 to Beatty, 1 to Will Hill, as it's Masai Marshall out on third, Beatty on second, and Will Hill at center, but this is likely going to be the day for Scaremont. A spirited meeting out there on the mound as it's the head coach, absolutely livid. Steve Luby gives the infield and the pitcher a piece of his mind before storming back to the dugout. They're going to keep him in the game to face the lefty Ian Farber. Santiago gives his pitcher a fist bump, tries to support him right here as it's Ian Farber out on the mound, or out in the box, excuse me. He had a grand slam as a hitter back against Glens Falls on July 8th, and then gave one up on the mound as a pitcher the next day on July 9th. I was talking to him, said he might be the first pitcher and hitter to give up and allow a grand slam in back-to-back days. Or to hit and allow, I should say. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. In there for strike 1. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Scaremont, the lefty who's already walked 3 batters in this inning, allowed 1 run and allowed a hit, against the lefty Farber playing at first base. The 0-1 on the way. Misses. Farber ducks out of the way as the off-speed was trying to get him, but the count all even, 1-1 now. It's Masai Marshall on third, Carson Beatty on second, and Will Hill out on first. 1-1 the count on the power-hitting first baseman Farber. Here comes the pitch. Check swing. He did not go, and the count 2-1 is that ball outside. Farber has struggled at the plate this season, just a 178 average with a 288 on base percentage, but a knock right here would likely score 2. It's a big, big opportunity with a 9-5 ball game. The 2-1. Taken in there for strike 2, and the count all even now. It's been a chess match from Farber and Scaremont, the lefty on the lefty. Farber really hasn't taken too big of hacks so far in this one, but needs to defend the plate down 2-2. Here's the pitch. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it back behind the press box, and the count remains 2-2. Just 4 hits for the Lumberjacks. They've scored 5 runs off of those. Also helped by the 2 errors by the shortstop Ryan Payne in the last inning. 10 hits, 9 runs, and 2 errors from the Mohawk Valley side. 2-2 on the way. Down low misses, 3-2 the count. It's bases loaded, 2 outs. And a full count here for Ian Farber. The runners will be going. And this could be big. Scaremont's got to be careful not to walk his 3rd batter in a row, as Farber needs to defend the plate. The crucial 3-2 pitch. hit high down the left field line. This one shallow enough for Freaker and makes the catch for the third out in the inning. Boonville leave them loaded, but do get one back here in the top of the 8th inning. It's 9-5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be right back after this. Nine to 5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Lumberjacks continue to crawl closer, but Matthew Helmer out on the mound. His day is done. 1 inning pitched, allowed a walk, but that was it. 2 strikeouts as well for the Penn State Beaver righty, and in comes Mason Michael, the Defiance College pitcher. Right-handers appeared in 8 games so far this season with 9 2/3 innings pitched, 11.17 ERA with 16 runs. 12 of them earned, as well as 20 hits and 6 walks. 5 strikeouts as well for Michael. Comes into this game, has to face the top and middle of the Mohawk Valley order. It's Connor Scanlon, Brody Freaker, and Jake Dolan, the 3 batters that he has to face in this inning. First up is Scanlon, the first baseman. A walk, a single, and a double already so far for the Fairfield University sophomore. Steps in on the right side, trying to battle for more as they have a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Michael delivers. That one way up high. The catcher, Seth Bischoff, can't even get a glove to it, and the count is 1-0. The lights are on here. It's completely dark at Veterans Memorial Park, 9:15 p.m. Just about 2.5 hours past first pitch. The 1-0. Fastball tops the zone again, this time a lot closer from Michael on the count 2-0. Scanlon already with the 1 walk, but it's Michael who gives up far more hits than free passes so far this season. 20 hits to just 8 walks. 2-0 is on the way from the righty. Up high, misses, almost hits Scanlon in the head, but instead the count 3-0. Scanlon 0 for 5 last night against Utica. He's come back and been on base 3 times in 4 plate appearances tonight. Already ahead of Michael, 3-0. The next delivery. Fastball misses up high, and that's a 4-pitch walk right there to Scanlon. Seth Bischoff, the catcher, immediately out to the mound. But he's going to be called back by the home plate umpire, telling him he doesn't have a lot of disengagements left, and he's going to let Michael figure things out on his own. So leadoff walk right there to Connor Scanlon, the first baseman, brings up Brody Freaker. No outs, runner on first. It's Freaker who's reached 3 times in 4 plate appearances, reached twice on the single and once on an error back in the first inning by Elijah Negron, the third baseman. Freaker singled to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Now we're out in the 8th. First pitch, misses up high, 1-0 the count. Michael still has not thrown a strike 5 pitches into this appearance. Hasn't been an issue for him this season, but has been so far today. 1-0 the count on Brody Freaker. Here comes the pitch. Slider misses down low right below the knees, and the count 2-0. It's Freaker, who's 8 for 21 against Boonville so far this season. 2 singles and a home run, 6 RBIs as well for the George Washington University sophomore. 2-0. Inside misses, 3-0 the count now as Michael grows increasingly frustrated out on the mound. Takes off the hat, wipes the sweat off his brow, and gets ready for this next delivery. On deck, it's Jake Dolan, the DH, then the second baseman, Roberto Valdez. Both of those players have hits so far tonight. Here comes the 3-0 on Freaker. Fastball in there for strike number 1. Some sarcastic cheers from the Mohawk Valley dugout. But Michael won't mind it. It's 3-1 the count now on Freaker. He's got a 1.181 OPS against the Lumberjacks this season. So here's the 3-1. Misses up high just barely, but it's another walk right there for Michael. And out to the mound is Christian Griffin. Quickly tells his team just to calm down as it's Michael who's come in, allowed 2 walks, and those have been the only batters he's faced. No movement in the depleted Boonville bullpen. They do have a game against Oneonta tomorrow before their last off day on Saturday. And then another game against Oneonta to end the season on Sunday. We've heard that there's going to be rain on Sunday as well, though, so we'll have to stay posted about that one. It's Jake Dolan, the DH, the Seton Hall commit, out to bat right now with runners on first and second. Dolan has struck out in both of his last 2 plate appearances, but did have a triple and a walk before that. It's Christian Griffin talking to all of his players, being told by the home plate umpire they have 1 meeting left in this game. Christian Griffin is a coach that likes to let his players figure it out on the mound, but he's been back and forth out there all night long. Just trying to keep his team in this game as they trail by 4. First pitch to Dolan. Fastball misses way up high. Bischoff sticks up the glove and gets it, and it's a 1-0 count. It's Scanlon on second, Freaker on first, both reached via the walk. 1-0 the count now to Dolan. Picked back by Michael, not in time. The shortstop Swingham tags Connor Scanlon on the top of the head, but he's in there safely. It's Dolan leaning back in his batting stance. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball in there for a called strike, 1-1 the count. Dolan's had multiple hits in 4 of his last 5 games with just 2 strikeouts across the span. .333 average in 16 games played for the designated hitter. 1-1, fouled back behind the plate. That one hits into the car park, and the count 1-2. 406 on base percentage with a .412 slugging. Dolan's been good at the plate since he came up to Mohawk Valley. Did report late, but has been effective for the Diamond Dog team. 1-2. Hit high into left field. Going back on this one is Will Hill. He's at the wall, looks up, and it is out of here. Way gone into center field for Jake Dolan, his first home run of the year, and Mohawk Valley open this game back up. It is 12-5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Seton Hall commit gets Mohawk Valley fans on their feet. That is already the 4th home run of the night for the Diamond Dawgs. And the first allowed by Mason Michael. 11th hit of the night. 12 runs allowed on 2 errors as well. A 3-run blast right there by Dolan. Mason Michael ready for the next batter. It's Roberto Valdez. Swings and hits this one into shallow center. Coming in is Will Hill. That one falls right in front of him for a single. Boonville got to be careful. The winning run for this game with the mercy rule would be on deck for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Still no outs with a runner on first here in this bottom of the 8th inning. The pitch, down low, misses. It's Harsh Ramanam Venkat out in the box now for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. So far 0 for 3 on the day, as well as a hit by pitch. 2 strikeouts and a flyout for the Brown University freshman. Next pitch, up high, misses. 2-0 the count. It's 12-5, Mohawk Valley out on top. Michael ready for the 2-0. Here it comes as the runner breaks from first. The pitch down low in the dirt and out. Gunned down over at second is the second baseman Roberto Valdez, who was trying to steal a base, and that is out number 1 in the inning. Valdez thought he could jump on Bischoff, but ultimately got a bad jump on that pitch and was gunned down. It's the first batter we've seen caught stealing here tonight. .3-0, down low, Venkat. That one skips on home plate and takes a runner off, puts one right back on. Venkat draws the 4-pitch walk and brings up the shortstop, Ryan Payne. Next batter up is the shortstop, Ryan Payne. Here's the first pitch. Down low in the dirt, misses. Payne on the day reached base twice, a single and a walk, as well as 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking for the Fairfield University righty. Holds the bat high above his head. Here comes the 1-0. In there for strike 1. Miller doesn't bring a lot of heat to the mound. The velocity, one of the slower ones on this Boonville team, but has shown great command and great promise so far this season. The 1-1. Inside the slider. Thought Payne was going to turn and let that one hit him, but instead it runs inside and the count 2-1. The 2-1 popped high above the Mohawk Valley dugout, and the count 2-2 now. It's Payne, who played last night, was 1 for 1 with a single and 3 walks against Utica. Trying not to be out number 2 in this inning against Mason Michael. The 2-2. Up high, misses the fastball, and the count full now. Funny enough, it was the Lumberjacks who had to drive down to Mohawk Valley earlier today. Issue with the bus, and everyone had to get here on their own accord, but luckily everyone was able to, and put up a good, decent performance here tonight. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Gets him down for strikeout number 1 on the day and out number 2 in the inning. Blew the fastball by Payne right there and brings up the last hitter up in the order, Jaden Santiago. Hasn't been the worst performance for the Lumberjacks, who have been mercy ruled, been beaten around in a lot of their last few games. Ultimately, they've come out here and looked like they were going to come back for a portion of this game. We're building momentum as here's the first pitch on Santiago. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him again. Ultimately hasn't been the best, especially out on the mound. 12 hits, 12 runs allowed. In the field, they've allowed 2 errors as well as just 4 hits in the box, but have come out here and put up a fight. I think at this point of the season, that's really all that you're looking for. The 0-1. Slider gets away from him. 1-1 the count now. There'll be 2 last matchups against the Oneonta Outlaws. One tomorrow, one on Sunday. Weather permitting, of course. As here comes the 1-1. Misses up high, 2-1 the count. If they can't get a win either tonight or in those last 2 games, Boonville will go the entire month of July without getting a win. Can't know for sure, but that's got to be a first in the PGCBL. Certainly in the last couple years, we know it is. As here comes the 2-1. Sword right there gets him 2-2 the count. 2 depleted teams, 2 teams on long losing streaks coming into tonight. Ultimately, it's Mohawk Valley who have showed the power and showed that they are the team that really has been a lot better here. Home runs by Jake Hardy, Kyle Coleman. One right there by Jake Dolan, as that is a called third strike on Jaden Santiago. 2 strikeouts in a row to end the inning, and Mohawk Valley do get 3, though. It is 12-5 heading in to the 9th inning. Twelve to 5 the score here as Mohawk Valley trying to close out the win and end their 9-game losing streak against the Boonville Lumberjacks. It's Harsh Ramayanam Venkat out on the mound for the Diamond Dogs to try and close out this game. Saw him start this game at third base, but now out on the mound. 12 games played as a pitcher so far this season, 14 innings pitched with an 8.36 ERA, 13 runs, all of them earned with 17 hits and 12 walks. as well as 9 strikeouts. For the Lumberjacks, it's going to be the bottom of the order. Ian Farber, Elijah Negron, and Bronx Lewis, the 3 due up in this inning. They'll need to come back from a 7-run deficit, or else this game will be over and the losing streak will extend to 18 games. First up is Elijah Negron. Reached twice so far today, once on a single and once on an error by the shortstop Ryan Payne. Steps in on the right side. Here comes pitch number 1. Fastball in there for strike 1. It's Venkat out on the mound, the only player wearing stirrups in this game, interestingly enough. Next pitch, down low in the dirt, 1-1 the count. It's Venkat, who hit and pitched over at Brown University. Had 1 appearance and 5 at-bats as the 1-1 outside on Negron. Gave up 4 earned runs in that 1 appearance at Brown and struck out and was hit by a pitch in his at-bats. Next pitch, in there for a called strike, 2-2 the count. It's an all-Ivy League battery here as the catcher Jaden Santiago from Columbia and the pitcher from Brown University. The 2-2. Down low in the dirt, misses, and the count runs full. It's Negron out of the HBCU, University of Maryland East Shore. So far, 1 for 3 on the night. 3-2. Down low, and that's going to be a ball. Negron gets on to get things started here in the 9th inning and brings up the right fielder, Bronx Lewis. First walk of the day for Negron, first allowed for Venkat, and brings up Lewis with no outs. It's Bronx Lewis, another supposedly very good golfer, though I haven't seen it with my own eyes, as the first pitch taken in there for strike 1. I was talking with Wyatt Lassiter before the game, and he said Bronx Lewis pretty good out on the links. Have to go see whether or not that's true. It's the 0-1. Hit hard up the middle. This one picked up by the second baseman Valdez. Relay for the double play, not in time though. Tagged the bag and tried to get him for 2, but ultimately a fielder's choice. Elijah Negron out right there, as it looks like he might have missed a steal sign. But regardless, 1 out with a runner on first for the left fielder Noah Reed. Venkat deals. Down low, 1-0 as the fastball misses. It's supposed to be a golfing challenge on Saturday between myself, Brady Foxwell, head coach Christian Griffin, and assistant coach Trent Nash is the 1-0 in there for strike 1. This has been a golf game that's been in the makes for quite a long time now. Originally, it was the coaching staff that pulled out at the last second. Then it was us, and then last time out it was the coaching staff as the 1-1 misses down low. We'll see if they show up this time. Hopefully they do. Christian Griffin allegedly pretty good at golf. Trent Nash has never played in his life, but with the skill level of me and Brady Foxwell, which is pretty low, shouldn't be an issue. 2-1 is skied high into shallow right field. Underneath it is Coleman, and makes the catch for out number 2. Noah Reed 0 for 4 on the day. 2 pop-outs, 2 strikeouts from the Alabama native. And brings up Seth Bischoff in what could be the last batter of this game. It was a walk to Elijah Negron, a fielder's choice by Bronx Lewis, and a flyout by Noah Reed. And all of a sudden, Seth Bischoff with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. It's Bronx Lewis out on first. First pitch in there for a called strike 1. It's Bischoff so far today, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out for the Maryland native. This one foul to the backstop, 0-2 the count. Played his last game against Amsterdam, was 0 for 2 in that one, but will be the starting catcher for the remainder of the season for Boonville with Oliver Lawrence departing. He's down 0-2 right here. The pitch taken away. The slider misses, and the count is 1-2. Bischoff just trying to stay alive, extend the game for the Lumberjacks lest they go down. The 1-2 just gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop, and stays alive. It's Bischoff who broke up a no-hitter against Utica back on July 6th, the single all the way in the 7th inning. See if there's any more magic left in this bat. 1-2 the count on the backstop. The 1-2. Down low, the runner breaks for second. Bronx Lewis in there standing as there's no throw. Stolen base right there for Lewis, just the second of the day by the Lumberjacks, and the count 2-2 now on Bischoff. The 2-2 taken away, and the count runs full. Vencott needs to be careful here. If he walks him, the lineup flips back over. It's Kanias Davis and Zeb Swangam on deck, but he's been moving quickly through this game. Runner on second, 2 outs, full count. The 3-2, hit high into shallow right field. Coming in on this one is Coleman, and he makes the catch, and that's the ball game. The Lumberjacks go down by a final score of 12-5 and extend their losing streak to 18 games. Meanwhile, the Diamond Dogs break their 9-game streak and get squarely back into the playoff race. That's the final here from Veterans Memorial Park. And that will do it for our broadcast. Lumberjacks go down for an 18th straight time, continue to struggle against the rest of the PGCBL East. Just 2 games left, both of those against the Oneonta Outlaws, one tomorrow at home and another on Sunday at home, weather permitting. We'll see if those games happen. But that will do it for the Lumberjacks. They go down for an 18th straight time. It's July 23rd. They still have not won in the month of July, and they have 2 games left to get one, or else they go down for a month straight. But that will do it for us here in Little Falls, New York. I'm Evan Simbita signing off on the Lumberjack Radio Network. Final score is 12-5 as the Boonville Lumberjacks go down 18th straight time, and the Diamond Dogs break a 9-game losing streak. We thank you for sticking with us tonight, and hope you have a great rest of your day.